Good morning, friends. Welcome to Coffee with Kathleen on this cloudy Wednesday morning in Holy Week. I'm drinking tea today. You are welcome to grab whatever warm and comforting beverage will satisfy you as we reflect together this morning. Last week, over coffee, we thought together about chaos and about the ways that chaos has come to define our lives in this last month during the COVID-19 epidemic. And some of the ways that we are trying to navigate that chaos. And this week, I'm thinking about Holy Week. Now, this is a dark subject, and if you need to distract yourselves with funny Facebook memes or an old Netflix comedy or some kind of task, it's okay if you need to sign off now, because I know we're not always ready to tackle the hard stuff. But I have been thinking about how Holy Week this year has gifts to give us that we may not have been prepared to receive in the past. Americans, North Americans, are notorious for wanting to skip straight from the pageantry of Palm Sunday to the triumphalism of Easter Sunday while tiptoeing around the valley of the shadow that lies in between those two Sunday celebrations. And that is the difficult journey of Holy Week. Jesus' experiences of betrayal and abandonment, his unjust mockery of a trial, his the viciousness with which he is treated, and his sense of abandonment by God. It's understandable that we don't want to go to those hard places, but this year we're there already. Because however hard we may try to keep our spirits up, we, in one way or another, are exposed to the relentless drumbeat of traumatic loss, of desperately difficult situations that so many people are finding themselves in throughout this country and throughout the world. We're exposed daily to the climbing tally of those who are sick and those who have died. We hear tragic stories of how now our beloved grocery store employees are beginning to die because of their exposure to the virus, because they've been there taking care of us. We are sad because of the loss of artists like John Prine and Bill Withers. We weep with those who are unable to be with their loved ones as they are desperately ill and dying. And for those who die alone with only their nurses for company. And we weep for the nurses and the doctors and the technicians and the emergency responders. It's all around us. We can't escape it. The fear, the rage, the sense of abandonment, the uncertainty. The shadow of death hovers over Holy Week, and it's hovering over us. And so my hope for those of us who practice the Christian way, and perhaps even for a few who don't, but who will find something rich in this part of our story, I hope that this year we can take some time when, instead of us trying to escape the valley of the shadow, we will allow ourselves to enter it. Because in our despair and our fear and our sense of betrayal, and in the story of Jesus and all that happens to him. In the midst of that story of abandonment, there is a gift. In the absence that Jesus cries out about on the cross, in that absence, that abandonment, my God, why have you forsaken me? Stripped down to the very, very core of ourselves, there is a presence and a possibility for life. I want to share with you a couple of things that I've read that I think are pertinent for us today or this week. The first quote I want to share with you is from Thomas More, who wrote the book Dark Nights of the Soul, a guide to finding your way through life's ordeals. He writes this: during the dark night, there is no choice but to surrender control, give in to unknowing, and stop and listen to whatever signals of wisdom might come along. It's a time of enforced retreat and perhaps unwilling withdrawal. The dark night is more than a learning experience. It's a profound initiation into a realm that nothing in the culture so preoccupied with external concerns and material success prepares you for. We are in a collective dark night of the soul, and there's something that dark night has to offer us. And then the writers of Sojourners share an image and an invitation. They say, this year, Holy Week is different. Our Christ is exhausted from extended shifts in the emergency room, from waking up at night with anxiety about paying rent, from the unrelenting coughs echoing through a detention center. Our Christ has flu-like symptoms and is experiencing shortness of breath. And then this, looking toward Easter. This Easter, we can remember the life, death, and resurrection of Jesus with eyes more readily attuned to the abandonment and uncertainty, as well as the embodied liberation that is our Christian Easter memory. I would welcome you as a companion on the journey this week. I welcome you into the space of our shared dark night. May it be a place of surprising blessing. Amen.